Bumblebees is coming to these. That's a big old pear.
These are the moon glow pears, right?
Yep.
And for years, Danny used a bucket on a stick. And we bought this, last year.
Yeah, well, yeah,
2 years ago.
Maybe a couple of years ago.
Last year, didn't we? We didn't have very many.
Nothing last year. This year we got so many pears. So.
But the way it's made, it's an extendo stick, isn't it?
Yeah. I ain't got it let out all the way.
And it's got a cushion in the bottom of it for the pear. And then it's got these hooks where you can hook the pear in there.
Yeah.
And get it out. And there's some nice pears. These are a good cannon pear.
We waited years for this tree to bear pears. It'd always have like maybe a dozen. And that was it. And then you had to fight the animals to get it.
And we're having to fight the animals now, so we're getting... I canned some yesterday and they were beautiful, so we're like, okay, time to can pears.
Time to can. Some of these are so big. This takes the pressure off the tree.
The smaller ones can grow a little if the animals...
Can actually grow. Come on now. Can actually grow a little bit.
And this tree right here beside it to the left is just an old-timey pear. They're always later.
Yeah.
They usually take another two to 3 weeks to get ready.
A couple more weeks.
And this tree here, these are going to take another week or two because they're just not big enough yet. So we'll be doing pears for a while. And Danny eats a lot of pears.
I love my pears. I love my figs and my pears.
I can them in I quarter them and put them in a light sauce and can them. And then I make a lot of pear sauce because we don't have apples to make applesauce. So I make pear sauce and it works just the same as applesauce. You can use it any way you use applesauce. You can use pear sauce.
Yeah.
And I always go ahead and add some cinnamon and brown sugar to a few jars. And I already have my pear sauce ready to eat. And you can use applesauce or pear sauce, I guess, in place of eggs or oil.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have eggs or oil.
Yeah. Come around over here and see what we got. We got some way up there. I don't want nothing to get mine way up yonder. Well, that pole's heavy when you get it up that high.
And it's only one pear, but yet it makes a difference when you got it
extended out that far. I just can't. I mean, that's probably 20 feet up there.
At least.
I don't think I got it. The limb. There's a bumblebee up there. I see that.
You're not getting it. You hadn't.
That bumblebee.
All right, now twist the bucket.
The bumblebee is trying to bite this thing. Watch that pear. Make sure he ain't got nothing wrong with it.
Nope.
He was after my thing here. He was trying to bite it. I'm trying to see if there's any real bigger one. Can't tell on that right there. Looks like one of them is.
And it's hard to deal with something that long and try to maneuver.
Well, there's a clump of them like that, and you don't want all of them.
Well, you got all of them.
You got them all anyway, so. That's heavy.
Heard one. I see it. A 5-gallon bucket right now, and the tree's loaded.
It's still got a pile on it. Yeah, come on. Nice big old pile. All right. Woo.
Now we go back to picking figs.
Yep, gotta go pick figs now. I'm gonna keep this with me. We're starting to pick this one. This is in between the two high tunnels here. This is the most amazing fig tree here. It has, oh, I mean, I don't know if it's feeding off the high tunnels or what, but
it's less than
this thing's
5 years old.
Yeah, it's less than 5 years old. This thing has took off. I mean, it's protected between these two high tunnels from the winter time. It stays warm right in here.
And we've got ground cover.
Yeah.
All up to it.
And plus, when we clean the high tunnels out, we throw all of our stuff underneath there. All the debris we take out.
Yeah, and it mulches down.
Yep, and the ground stays damp and moist up on here. Plus, we're not very far from the pond. There's a lot of pluses. I really, this tree, probably one of our better trees. It has so many figs on it. I mean, it's just, you sit here and you go, where do I start? You know?
With the ripe ones.
With the ripe ones, that's it. You start with all the ripe ones.
I hear the bees in the high tunnel.
Oh man, I look up and all I see is red figs up there.
The top is real red, so Danny's got to go climbing.
I got to go to climbing. I'm trying to get all the lower ones off first so we don't knock them off. There we go. Okay, we're about to get there.
See if we have okra. I hear the bees. They're hard at work this morning. Between the sweet potatoes and the okra's just starting to bloom. And this is the white okra. We're going to get 2 or 3 pods off of it.
Here's one up here.
There's a couple back there.
I cut me a fig limb off, a sprout. I'm going to take it and stick it down by the pond and see if, there it is right there, white okra. That stuff is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And you're cutting the bottom limbs off.
I always cut the leaves off. Okra, if you have too many leaves on it, won't produce.
And this is just getting ready to...
This is just fixing to start kicking it.
We're getting a pod or 2 every now and then.
If you don't take the leaves off, all the growth. My daddy used to call it, he'd tell me, say, son, go out there and whip that okra. And I knew what he meant. I knew he meant go out there and... The old people just took a stick and beat the leaves off of it. I try to be a little more gentleman. You don't want to cut the leaf if it has a pod of okra on it. You want to wait till the okra matures and cut it when you cut the...
You're only cutting the ones below. The pods.
Below the pods, yeah. Whew. Okay, and plus it opens it up for airflow. Okra is really bad about, if it don't have good airflow, it won't make. Well, okra's a hot weather plant. It's just not getting good and hot, so kind of like pepper.
It's good and hot, all right.
All right.
And my sweet potatoes are doing okay in here.
Yeah, sweet potatoes doing real good.
My flowers.
One thing I like about the high tunnel, with the ground cover on, you can cut the leaves off, come through here, or if you have a rake, we have a rake, I just ain't went and picked it up.
Or a blower.
Or a blower, you can just come through here. Very low maintenance, you can just clean this thing up. And this is the kind of stuff, we take this out and we just put it all back here in the back under the fig tree, like we would tell you. That's why this fig tree right outside the door here. I just throw it, I kick it all up under that fig tree, and it just becomes mulch for the fig tree.
It keeps it
Moist under there.
I mean, it keeps it some nutrition and everything.
As it decomposes.
Keeps the roots hid.
Yep. Well, look at the size of that pig. That joker's huge.
Might as well eat it.
No, I ain't gonna eat it. I won't be able to can
I like them fresh.
I like them canned. I like them fresh and canned, but we got a ton of stuff to do. Miss Wanda has got her work cut out today. We're picking this every day. So it looks like, what is that, about 1.5 gallons?
Probably. About 3 quarts, maybe.
No, it's more than 3 quarts. Oh, you're talking about canned figs.
Canned figs, yeah.
Yeah, canned figs end up being about 3 quarts because they cook down. But we got these, plus we got all these pears up here. We got this, we got all the pears there.
We put them in 2 buckets so we'd have enough.
Yeah, I don't want them to get kind of bruised up. I also took off of the fig tree between the 2 high tunnels, I took a long sprout. This is a first-year sprout. Off at the ground. I'm going to take this over to Pecan Grove, and I'm going to go down to the pond, and I'm going to stick it in the edge of the water, deep in the mud. I'm going to scrape it a little bit, get the cambium layer exposed, and I'm going to just see if this sucker will live. You know? I've always heard you can just stick them in the ground. Well, we're going to find out. Watch out for a moccasin here. Don't want that. This is just to see if it'll root. I don't know. And I did it out of the water. I guess I could probably move it down a little bit, but the pond is about this much low right here. Here's where the water normally is, right here. And I don't want it to, if it rains, I don't want it to be way deep underwater. So I'm going to leave it right there, I think. And it's an experiment for me. It's not staying here. It's just simply to see if it'll root itself. And if it will, this fall I'll dig it up and I'll take it over to on a property somewhere and I'll plant it. But if not, if it dies, I hadn't really lost anything because I got to trim them off the fig tree anyway. So I'm all about experimenting, guys, and let's just see if it works. Now, what I did was I cut a long slope on it, and then I scraped the back of it down to the cambium layer to expose more of the cambium layer, because it does what's called calcification. And when you have calcification taking place, lots of times it'll put roots on there. So let's just see. Stay with us. Let's watch. Let's see what happens.